He writes for the Marina Times. He calls himself the culture blaster across media. He writes about movies, television, music. He comes to us on a wave of sunshine and magic. Oh, he's Michael Snyder, everyone.
All right. Hey, Michael.
Hey, guys, and I'm excited about your big Monday splash mark. You're kind of like the Willy Wonka of pop music now, right?
That's true. That's right. That's true. Who'd thought? Yeah, that's right. With the golden, he had the golden ticket, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm going to have the golden token.
If anyone's wondering why I'm not in studio today, since last night's lightning storm, I've been giving off an unearthly glow, and I just didn't want to short circuit any equipment, so we're on remote.
Yeah, well, I love having you on the Zoom. We have that little Zoom delay, but it's not too bad yet. But I'm glad you, out of an abundance of caution, as they say, you waved off an in-studio appearance. You've got some cool movies today, actually. I'm curious about this card counter movie, The Card Counter.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we get to that, I just want to say...
Yeah, briefly, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to rush you through the material.
We reviewed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and I kind of gushed over it last week. And one thing I didn't do was to give props to the director, co-writer, Destin Daniel Cretton, who also was responsible for two terrific indie film. Well, one indie film called Short Term 12 and another movie called Just Mercy. He's a fine director, and he did a great job on Shang-Chi. I just wanted to give him props. And there's a big article that yours truly wrote, a big feature review on Shang-Chi in the current issue of the Marina Times, if people want to learn a little bit more about the movie. I just wanted to do that as an aside.
Yeah, definitely. I love that you would double back and mention that. And also, I think it's because you did gush so much. I was kind of watching that movie with interest to see how it did. And of course, it's off the charts. They by no means did they think in this environment with sort of COVID in the mix as well, that the theatrical release would be as huge as it was. And it was massive.
Mm. And I even agreed with you, Michael. I don't normally agree with you all the time on some of your movie reviews, but I definitely agree with you on this one.
Well, I think that opinion is welcome and probably based on a true story.
Very, very good. All right. Well,
let's move.
Let's get.
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Yeah, tell us what you think.
Okay, so. Paul Schrader is a filmmaker whose commitment to morality has informed of his best work. And when I talk best work, this is the screenwriter of Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, and the writer-director of Blue Collar, Hardcore, American Gigolo, and the recent very powerful First Reformed with Ethan Hawke. And Schrader's latest is The Card Counter, featuring Oscar Isaac as William Tell. Is it a pseudonym? Who can tell? Anyway, William Tell is a former military interrogator who now devotes his life to professional gambling. He works the casino circuit and early in the movie agrees to be bankrolled by a former card shark with a stable of players that she handles for a percentage of their winnings. Meeting a troubled young man named Kirk, at one casino, William learns of his connection to Kirk's father, and in one of those do the right thing moments, decides to bring the kid along with him on his travels for some mentoring. He's going to mentor the kid. Anyway, over the course of the movie, we learn more and more about William in very disturbing flashbacks that kind of pepper the narrative. And Isaac is in amazing form. He delivers a beautifully shaded performance that starts out kind of reserved and restrained, but as more is revealed, the character becomes more and more compelling, as does the card counter. And soon the tension and the disquiet are all pervasive. And besides Isaac, the card counter benefits from the presence of the comedic actress Tiffany Haddish, making a very assured move into drama as William's no-nonsense financier, Ty Sheridan as Kirk, the troubled kid, and Willem Dafoe as William's former instructor in the ugly art of interrogation. The Card Counter is a slow burn with heat that lingers. It was both written and directed by Schrader, who is still making impactful cinema decades into his illustrious career. It's in theaters, and I think it's going to read really well. Speaking of card counting, read really well at home when it's available on streaming.
Wow, that's wild to hear you say those things about Tiffany Haddish, too, because I saw her there and I thought, I don't know if the casting there is so great, but to hear that she works so well, because the other casting it seems really intense. Of course, Schrader's, I think, as you suggest, his profile is, kind of among the best of his generation. So The Card Counter, okay, it's in theaters. Go ahead.
Hannah, La Femme Nikita, even Ghost in the Shell. What do they have in common? They're all more exciting, creative, and memorable movies about a female assassin than Kate. I wanted to like Kate. I wanted to love it. You've got Mary Elizabeth Winstead as a deadly and efficient female assassin. You got Woody Harrelson as her longtime mentor, and a very colorful Japanese setting for all the action and violence. Kate, the character, is tasked to kill a member of the Yakuza, the Japanese mob, and she does so in front of the gangster's teenage daughter and is racked with guilt. And shortly thereafter, she is fatally poisoned and decides to take out whoever was responsible before she herself dies. And of course, the gangster's daughter gets embroiled in the situation. There is much screaming and fighting and chopping and faux John Woo style slow-mo shoot-'em-ups. Winstead does good work as Kate facing the ultimate crisis. Woody is Woody, which is, as usual, goody. And the frightened members of the civilian populace that have to duck the bullets, they seem like they're appropriately scared. The Japanese cast members are good to go. Again, we've been here before with more staring results. Kate is available for streaming on Netflix.
All right. Doesn't like Kate that much. I only have a couple minutes, so go for it. What's next?
The Voyeurs, interesting modern-day thriller with some Rear Window vibes as a hip young Montreal couple move into a warehouse-type loft complex where all the windows have massive spans, so very easy to see who's living in the hood and what they're up to, diaphanous curtains. So they start spying on a Lothario-like photographer and his girlfriend who live across the way.
Hang on a second. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're serving them up too quickly. Diaphanous should get a ding, please. Thank you. And Lothario should get a ding, please. All right. Continue, Michael. Sorry. Okay, so they're in this place where they've got these big windows and they can see the whole neighborhood. All right.
Yeah, diaphanous, baby. Anyway, so they see this guy constantly cheating on the girl with the models he photographs, and a moral dilemma starts to plague them, which leads to tragedy. It's like the young and the feckless here. I mean, it's kind of cool to see Sydney Sweeney as the young woman in the peeping couple. She's sort of like peeping. It's odd. Her name is Pippa. I guess it should have been pronounced Peepa. But anyway, Sweeney was really on point or on fleek as one of the snarky college girls on vacation in the HBO miniseries The White Lotus. And though this is ultimately mediocre, she's good. And it does have some nice twists and turns in the final act until it jumps a big old shark. One final note. There's a small role here for Jean Yoon, who plays the mother of Jung, Shang-Chi star Simu Liu's character in Kim's Convenience. So Venn diagrammy. It's available for streaming on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. We have time for one more. Take your pick.
All right. Who You Think I Am? It concerns a 40-something professor of literature and a mother of two who tries to fill the gap in her life when her husband leaves her for a younger woman by having a relationship with a younger man. But when that goes south, she creates a fake social media profile depicting herself with stolen photos. She's a young and nubile beauty in the photos. It's some other girl, and she starts a cyber affair with a young, handsome friend of her now ex-lover. The director, Safi Nebin, also co-wrote the screenplay, which was adapted from a best-selling novel, and the movie is clever, a troubling investigation of let's call it the pathology of romantic obsession and how it ties into issues of self-worth and fear of abandonment. Spare, sad, effective, built around a typically exquisite and nuanced performance by one of world cinema's leading ladies, Juliette Binoche. I was impressed by Who You Think I Am. Wherein reality intrudes on fantasy and vice versa in very compelling fashion.
Is it in English?
It is in French with subtitles and only available in theaters at the moment, but it's going to soon be, I think, on Netflix or a few other streaming services.
I saw this movie and I liked it also. Yeah. So there you go. I was invited to a special screening.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yes, because of Who Do You Think I Am?
Do you know who I am?
Exactly.
I'm kind of
I
a
know
big
It's
deal.
called
I know who
Who
you are. We all do. You're Mark
But
Thompson.
this is Who You Think I Am. In other words, it's a play on the fact that she's creating, as Michael says, this sort of phony profile to continue this obsessive relationship. It's really cool. All right, Michael, let's quickly review as we wrap up. Who You Think I Am, we just spoke of. You like it. It's in theaters only right now. The Voyeurs, not crazy for it. It had the building blocks or something, but didn't really take off from what I got from you. Kate, which I would have also liked, the sort of ninja kid who's also an assassin or whatever, you really didn't like. But you liked The Card Counter, which is in theaters, and you really thought it was not only well-directed, well-written, but performance-wise, it was really exquisitely done. So
Right, absolutely. One more quick note. I dissed Kate on Netflix. Netflix just dropped the final season of Lucifer, the addictive LA-based police procedural / rom-com / supernatural drama with Tom Ellis as the devil working as a police consultant in LA to a hot ex-B-movie actress turned LAPD detective. Great stuff. Love it. Adorable cast. Welcome to have it back. Sorry to see it go. Lucifer on Netflix.
wow, very, very cool. All right, we'll watch for that. Lucifer on Netflix. Michael, we could talk to you all afternoon. Really enjoy your visits. On Fridays, you can hear him here, but the rest of the time you can find him as the Culture Blaster across social media, YouTube, and, social media, what it is. And Michael is also someone who can regularly be read in the Marina Times. He comes to us on a wave of sunshine and rainbow